In the world of industrial logistics, there's a unique domain where there's absolutely no room for error: oversize and overweight transport. Unlike conventional cargo delivery, this is a special mission. It's not simply about moving something from point A to point B, but conquering hundreds of kilometers with massive metal structures, weighing hundreds of tons trailing behind. Sometimes these loads take up the entire width of a national highway. Here, every turn of the wheel must be as precise as surgery, every brake applied with the wisdom of experience. Sitting behind the wheel of a truck pulling an oversized load is nothing like driving any other vehicle. These drivers carry dozens of tons of pressure, both literal and psychological. On tight curves, they must calculate the cargo's center of gravity. When descending steep slopes, they rely on engine braking instead of traditional brakes to prevent losing control. They often drive through the night, in the rain, or through dense fog, conditions where even a minor mistake can lead to disaster. Yet for them, it's just another day on the job. A dance with danger where skill and nerves of steel are the lead performers. Driving a heavy-duty truck isn't just about handling a steel beast. It's a form of mental combat, a game of wits where only those with nerves of steel dare to play. On highways, in cities, through winding mountain passes, or under relentless weather conditions, drivers must make split-second decisions. Every turn of the wheel requires calculation, not just of direction, but a response to dozens of variables: road tilt, wind speed, cargo weight, and traffic conditions ahead and behind. They must anticipate situations hundreds of meters in advance, predict outcomes before they unfold, and remain razor-sharp alert for hours on end. A 40-ton vehicle leaves no room for error. There's no undo button if you're a second too late. That's why heavy-duty driving is often called intelligence behind the wheel, where the driver isn't just a pilot, but a commander of a steel battleship thundering through a gauntlet of daily challenges. Each workday is a silent battle, tense, demanding, and full of resolve. Heavy-duty truck driving isn't a skill you simply pick up from manuals. It's forged through thousands of hours of real-world experience, sweat, pressure, and even life-or-death moments on the road. With machines weighing tens of tons, and as long as a train car, every maneuver requires careful thought. From starting up, shifting gears, maintaining speed, to overtaking, turning in tight spaces, or reversing into docks at midnight. Drivers manage an entire moving system: the engine, air brakes, cargo load, shock absorption, wind direction, road texture, and they must ensure everything runs smoothly under their command. More than just drivers, they are also technicians, understanding the inner workings of their truck and ready to handle emergencies like brake failure, tire blowouts, or skids on steep slopes. They also coordinate closely with dispatchers, clients, and fellow drivers. Every moment behind the wheel is a balancing act of responsibility, experience, and integrity. To master this craft, one needs more than a steady hand. It requires a resilient heart and a sharp, ever-alert mind. This job isn't for those who just drive, it's for those who fully own the machine as an extension of their very being. People often say, driving a big rig just takes guts and muscle. Wrong. Hand the wheel of an 18-wheeler to a newbie, and within 15 minutes they'll be sweating, panicking, and begging to stop. For heavy truck drivers, controlling a metal monster over 15 meters long and weighing tens of tons is not just skill, it's a kind of elite martial art, forged from experience, instinct, and reflexes. They don't just drive, they communicate with the truck. Listening to the engine to know if it's tired or strong, feeling every vibration of the steering wheel to detect road irregularities, and even smelling subtle signs like overheating brakes. Every descent, curve, and hill climb is a mind game, a silent orchestra of experience, calculation, and pure nerve. Rain, darkness, slippery roads. Bring it on! These drivers keep the wheel steady as if the entire world depends on them. This job demands physical endurance and unshakable mental toughness. No panicking, no rushing, no letting emotions interfere. Laughing one minute, frustrated the next. But once that cab door shuts, it's all business. Ahead lies the road, the truck, and a mission that no one else can carry out. You may not know their names, but when a massive container glides past silently during rush hour, that's the mark of a master behind the wheel. Silent, but unmistakably brilliant. Not every journey takes place on perfect roads. In reality, many oversized loads must navigate through mountains, steep passes, muddy trails, and hairpin curves. At times, the entire convoy must wait for hours while a weak bridge is reinforced or a narrow path is manually leveled with gravel and concrete. Every meter of the road becomes a test of patience, focus, and precision, a combination of human resilience and engineering calculation. When it comes to heavy transport, most people focus on the massive vehicles or the skill of the driver. But there's one silent, unforgiving opponent that must never be underestimated: the terrain. Steep passes, sharp inclines, muddy trails, fragile bridges. Every stretch of road can turn into a deadly game. A slippery curve in the rain, a landslide after a storm, or an old wooden bridge under too much weight. All it takes is one misstep, and disaster strikes. For trucks weighing tens of tons, terrain isn't just an obstacle, it's a cunning enemy, hiding its traps and striking when least expected. Drivers must stay ready, not just with skill, but with absolute focus. Because on the most treacherous routes, it's the very ground beneath the wheels that tests human resolve like nothing else. Sometimes the toughest part of a transport mission isn't the cargo or the machine. It's the road that dares you not to go. It's that mountain pass where the road rises like a wall, the slick red clay trail that stretches endlessly after a tropical downpour. That tight bend with no margin for error, just 10 centimeters off and you're over the cliff. Every meter forward feels like a gamble. Every kilometer becomes proof of resilience. In the face of ruthless terrain, heavy transport drivers don't have the luxury of fear. They have only two options: take the challenge or stop forever. And they always choose to move forward, slowly, carefully, but relentlessly. Because for them, there's no such thing as an impossible road, only roads that demand a stronger will. Oversized transport is never a one-man show. It's a symphony of coordination between drivers, technicians, traffic coordinators, route scouts, and emergency responders. Communication is constant, via radio, hand signals, and pre-planned protocols. Sometimes the team must physically clear obstacles or temporarily modify the route for just a few meters of progress. Behind the breathtaking visuals are teams working in sync, united by trust, expertise, and shared responsibility. Sometimes the toughest part of a transport mission isn't the cargo or the machine. It's the road that dares you not to go. It's that mountain pass where the road rises like a wall. The slick, red clay trail that stretches endlessly after a tropical downpour. That tight bend with no margin for error. Just 10 centimeters off and you're over the cliff. Every meter forward feels like a gamble. Every kilometer becomes proof of resilience. In the face of ruthless terrain, heavy transport drivers don't have the luxury of fear. They have only two options: take the challenge or stop forever. And they always choose to move forward, slowly, carefully, but relentlessly. Because for them, there's no such thing as an impossible road, only roads that demand a stronger will. A heavy-duty transport operation is more than just a truck on the road. It's a fully synchronized system requiring flawless coordination between multiple departments and disciplines. Individual skill is necessary, but to complete the mission safely, efficiently, and on schedule, teamwork is the real game changer. Transport engineers must collaborate with the terrain assessment team. Logistics works hand in hand with drivers to manage tight schedules. Legal departments handle permits and clearances in every province, and the technical support crew stands ready to address mechanical issues at any moment. Everyone has their own role, but they all aim for the same destination, delivering the cargo no matter how tough the road. In this field, one skilled individual can't compare to a well-coordinated team. In heavy transport, safety isn't optional. It's survival. Each piece of cargo is thoroughly inspected before departure. From center of gravity calculations, high-tension chains and slip prevention pads, to onboard tilt and vibration sensors, everything is monitored to the finest detail. Every member of the convoy is trained for emergency responses, and backup plans, even Plan C, are prepared for every possible incident. Those who take on this job rarely seek the spotlight, but they are unsung heroes. They spend weeks away from home, sleep in cabins, grab meals on the roadside, and keep their minds alert hour after hour. Yet what they gain is pride, not just from overcoming danger, but from knowing they helped build monumental structures and national projects. To them, every journey is more than just logistics. It's a story of passion, resilience, and responsibility carried on the back of a roaring engine. On roads filled with danger, where colossal cargo weighing hundreds of tons crawls over towering passes, deep ravines, heavy rain, and fierce winds, the driver isn't just operating a machine, they're going head-to-head with nature, with human limits, and with their own fears. Inside that cab, behind the massive steering wheel, lives an indomitable spirit, a fire that never dies. No one is born to command machines this massive, but through every harrowing route, every heart-pounding moment, every sleepless night spent watching over their truck in the freezing dark, they've forged themselves into something greater. Their spirit isn't flashy, it's quiet resilience, the will to hold the wheel steady in a split second of danger, the grit to never back down. Because when the road disappears, it's their resolve that becomes the only map left to follow.